Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Oh, thanks. Mhm. There we go. And just kind of put the right towards you from whoever's speaking. And we're live again from Silverton Pride. So thank you so much for being at Pride.
Yeah.
Like, it's really appreciated. Like, one of the things that we've been talking about all day is how important it is for people of this community to know organizations like You Care enough to be here in celebration with that. So what prompted the library to take an active role in being at Pride?
The library is here with a couple of the other local community resources. So the library provides a lot of things that aren't just books. So we also do a lot of community outreach and community events, as well as offer a variety of services, things like Wi-Fi hotspots to people that are new to town, or we have a lot of people that are technically off-grid that come in and get resources from us. So it was important to be here today as a kind of pillar of the community.
And I really appreciate that you bring that aspect of the library, because a lot of people don't really understand like how much people rely on the library for certain aspects of their life that they might not otherwise have access to.
Yeah. Especially people that are just getting settled in a new place. The library, like when we first moved here, that was our first stop on the first day after unpacking was going to the library and getting our library cards and set up there.
Because I remember like when I first moved to Oregon and I needed a bunch of stuff for whatever reason. I didn't have a printer. I didn't have the ability to go out and just buy a printer.
Yes.
And I was like, where the heck do you? Oh, yeah, that's right, the library. Yeah. And the library saved my bacon so many times because like I didn't have the extra $180 to buy a printer. It's like it's just one of those things that you take for granted until it's like, oh yeah, they do that there too. And like so like one of the other things that I love about the library as well is the spaces for people to use that are quiet spaces. Because sometimes it's hard to find a quiet space these days.
Yeah. And the library, of course, as compared to like coffee shops or things that other places people go to do work from home, is that the library is free. And so it's not like you need to purchase anything to be in that space. You can just come enjoy free Wi-Fi, one of the study rooms, and have a quiet place to work or rest.
And because from somebody who's neurodivergent, like, while I would love to spend all my time in a coffee shop, the sensory profile there is horrible. So having that space where you can go in a quiet space and just decompress is so needed. Yeah.
Plus the chairs are comfier. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
We should talk about the niche things that the library offers.
Please.
Yeah, the library, everyone is familiar with books, of course, unless you are in a situation where you're like, man, I need a printer. Where can I print? But we also offer to people with library cards, you can get in free to a lot of the local museums as far away as Portland and the coast. So you can get into a bunch of the gardens in Portland, the Silver Falls State Park, the Oregon Gardens here in town, as the Hallie Ford Museum, and a bunch of the other museums in Salem. We also very soon will have other things you can check out. We have a seed library that just opened, so you can take seeds and plant. You can just take seeds and plant a variety of vegetables and flowers and things. We have, of course, programs for adults and kids, different crafts you can learn. Like we learned Ukrainian egg painting for free with all the supplies included through the library. We also offer like computer help if people need that. And we also have other items that can be checked out, like laptops, canning supplies, like a variety of other things, ukuleles. So Wi-Fi hotspots are big. So yeah, there's a lot the library has to offer the community in general.
And there's a lot of access to audiobooks too that I wasn't
Yes,
fully aware
yeah.
of. Until I
And you can also access streaming of shows and movies using your
Interesting.
library card too. Hmm
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
so you can get books, digital copies of books on your phone or Kindle, as well as listen to books on a phone or other device. As well as we have audiobooks in the library too that you can listen to on a CD format or using your own headphones. And yes, we have movies as well, movies and shows in the library, as well as the ones you can stream
And you also
using
have
your card.
cultural events from time to time, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we usually have at least one event a month that is usually some sort of craft or event. And then the youth side of the library has an even more packed schedule with things for all ages, from story time, which happens pretty regularly, for kids, and now the summer reading program, where kids can win prizes for turning in their reading.
And I appreciate the story time piece because, you hate the reality, but the reality of our society today is not everybody can read to a level of proficiency.
Mhm.
And that gives people who may not have access to books access,
Yeah.
which is huge.
Yeah. A lot of people in the community that choose to homeschool use the library as well to just give their kids access to a full library. And even in public schools, the school libraries aren't always as great as we'd love them to be. And so we try and fill in where we can.
What about Spanish speakers?
Oh, we also, yes, we also, thank you for reminding me. We also have a collection for adults and kids in Spanish, as well as Spanish speaking staff. And all of our programs and information can also be, all of that is translated as well. So English, Spanish, and we do have a few things in Russian because Russian is a big language in this area as well.
And one of the things too that I appreciate about the library in this day of digital information is sometimes it's hard to find information that you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
And so going into a library and asking a librarian, like, where can I find a source of information regarding this? Without a shadow of a doubt that the librarian has been taught in ways to make sure that you get the right or appropriate kind of literature.
Yeah,
to
of course.
Sort of get the message that you're looking for.
Yeah, of course. And librarians across the board are always willing to help with that, and should be able to point people to a good resource.
Yeah, because sometimes if you go down that rabbit hole of information online without a guide, you can come up and get something you're not expecting. Yeah. And then the other thing too is there's also at the library a huge collection of books by authors from various different aspects of life. And so you've got authors from the LGBTQ community, you have authors from other communities, so that when you go to the library, it's not just one voice or the dominant culture that's just everywhere. You actually have access to information written by people from different cultures.
And time periods.
Right?
Yeah.
And so important for people to have access and actually see people that represent them in artistry or in authors, and just how empowering that is.
Yeah, and we have a local collection that is just by local authors, as well as books from all over the world, including books that have been translated from other languages that were originally published in other countries.
I think also another aspect of libraries that's really important is that they also act as a local information historical hub. And so libraries often house the information about the town or the region or that county, area, state, whatever. And it's really important that people have access to that because our history determines who we are now. And it's really important that we don't forget our history as well.
Yeah. And then the last question is, what's your favorite book? I know it's a loaded question, but I love asking librarians that question. I
Well,
don't know if I have an answer.
I'm not a librarian. I just live with a librarian. But I'll answer the question. I was just talking to someone today about how I have 3 favorite books. Favorite book number 1 is Egg and Spoon by, I believe it's the same author who wrote Wicked. The second book is,
Gregory Maguire?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Don't fact check me. But anyway, the second one is The Book Thief, Always and Forever. And then the third is a book series called Maybird and the Ever After. It's a book series that I read when I was a kid and revisit as an adult and still really love it.
I think I'm going to go with Babel by R.F. Kuang. I really enjoyed that book. I also really like, in the nature of Pride, Gay New York, which is a queer history from 1860, I believe, to 1910 of New York City. And A Space of Our Own, which is a queer history of lesbian spaces.
Thank you for that. And thank you very much for being on the podcast today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. That was great.